The cold does not leave gently. It shatters inside you like glass. One moment you are nothing, a statue of frozen dream, and the next you are everything at once. Pain, light, sound. A klaxon screams not in the room, but inside your skull. It is a raw, serrated edge of noise. It is the sound of a promise being broken. The long peace is over. You try to lift a hand. It feels like a slab of stone. Cryofrost cracks from your knuckles. The pod cover hisses open. It releases a fog of preserved time. The air that hits your lungs is thin. It tastes of recycled fear. For a century, you slept. You were a relic, a weapon kept in storage. Now, someone has broken the glass. Your thoughts are slush. They slowly form into words. Siege Doctor. That is your title. That is your purpose. It is a name you have not heard in ages. It belongs to a different era, a time of brutal, final wars. You were supposed to be a footnote in history, a contingency that was never meant to be used. The screaming alarm tells a different story. You sit up. The motion is agony. Your muscles burn with revival. The cryopod is stark and white. It sits in a room built for one purpose, to hold you. You see your reflection in the polished chrome. You look pale, haunted, like a ghost summoned by a desperate prayer. And judging by the noise, the desperation is extreme. The summons has been sent. You are being called to wake. A woman is waiting for you outside the revival chamber. Her uniform is crisp, but her eyes are not. They are old, older than her face. She carries the weight of a long, losing war. She stands straight. Her discipline is a shield against the exhaustion threatening to buckle her knees. She is the fleet's admiral. Doctor, she says. Her voice is steady but brittle. I am Admiral Eva Rostova. Welcome back to the living. You nod, the motion still stiff. Your professional bedside manner was never your strong suit. You prefer problems you can solve with scalpels and logic, not with words of comfort. The situation, you ask. Your own voice is a dry rasp, a sound unused for 100 years. The Admiral's gaze flickers to a large viewport. It dominates the wall of the bridge. Beyond it lies the cold, indifferent starscape, and something more. The situation is simple, she says, her words sharp. We are losing. We have lost. We have been running for 10 years. She gestures to the crew on her bridge. They are children, 20 years old, maybe 25. They move with grim efficiency. They were born into this war. They know nothing else. They are humanity's last children. We have tried everything, the Admiral continues. Her voice drops to a near whisper. Every weapon, every strategy, every sacrifice. She turns back to you. The shield of her discipline cracks just a little. You see the raw despair beneath. The archives called you the Siege Doctor, a solver of impossible problems. We have one left for you. The enemy, you state. It is not a question. She points a single, trembling finger toward the viewport. They are waiting for us. They have been hurting us for months. To this system, to this final, empty place. Her face is a mask of grim finality. They call themselves the Chorus. They are about to sing their last song. And we are the audience. Show me, you say. The Admiral taps a command into her console. The viewport magnifies. The image zooms past distant stars. It focuses on the darkness between them. At first, you see nothing. Just the endless, empty black. Then, your eyes adjust. You are not looking at emptiness. You are looking at a wall. It is a fleet. But that word is wrong. A fleet is a collection of ships. This is one thing. A single, unified shape made of 1,000 or 1,000,000 separate bodies. They move as one. A perfect, crystalline lattice of black metal. They form a vast, flawless hexagon in space. It is a geometric absolute, a statement of impossible perfection. Human ships are messy. They are built for function. They have antennas and engines and weapon pods sticking out. They look like things that were assembled. This enemy is different. Their forms are pure, teardrops and spheres and blades of impossible sleekness. Not a single light shines from them. They are holes in space, a void that has taken shape. Their formation is what terrifies you. There is no drift, no minute correction. Every ship is equidistant from its neighbors. Every angle is perfect. It is the kind of precision that a single mind imposes on a billion bodies. It is the work of a god, or an insect hive the size of a solar system. They do not communicate, Admiral Rostova says softly, at your side. They simply advance. Anything in their path is taken apart. Worlds, stations, fleets, they absorb it all. You watch as one of our own small scout ships makes a desperate run. It is a tiny spark of light against the black wall. The hexagon shifts, not turning. It flexes. 1,000 ships on one flank move in perfect unison. They create a corridor of overlapping energy fields. The scout ship vanishes. No explosion, no debris, just gone. Erased. The perfection is what screams doom. It suggests a mind without doubt, without ego, without error. How do you fight an enemy that makes no mistakes? How do you break a wall that has no cracks? For the first time in your very long life, you feel a chill that has nothing to do with the cryo-sleep. A flicker, a ghost in your mind. It is not a memory of this time. It is an echo from the before, from the ancient wars that earned you your name, a name you received for breaking sieges thought unbreakable. You close your eyes, shutting out the horrifying perfection in the viewport. You retreat into the one place the enemy cannot see, the archives of your own mind. The fleet's computers have nothing. They have tactical data, casualty reports, an endless scroll of defeats. But you are not looking for data. You are looking for a spark, an idea. The cryo-sleep preserved more than just your body. It preserved your knowledge, your experiences from a time when humanity was a very different creature, more savage, more desperate, more clever. You remember a file, a project so controversial it was sealed, redacted from all public record. It was not a weapon system. It was not a new engine or a better shield. It was from the Psycho-Strategic Operations Division, a department that was later disbanded. Its work was declared anathema, a crime against sapient thought. The project was called Ego Cascade. Its theory was simple and terrifying. It argued that any perfectly unified consciousness, a hive mind, had a critical flaw. It had no defense against the concept of self. It was a weapon that did not fire bullets. It fired individuality. It was designed to turn a unified we into a billion screaming these. The project was deemed too dangerous, too unpredictable. What would happen to a billion new minds born in an instant of screaming terror? The project was buried, until now. You open your eyes. The spark is now aflame. It is a dangerous and forbidden idea. But the view outside the window is of certain extinction. The choice is not between a good option and a bad one. It is between a bad one and no option at all. You turn to the Admiral. I need the War Council, and I need your chief engineer. What is it, Doctor? She asks, a sliver of hope in her voice. A weapon? A weakness you have found? No, Admiral, you say, your voice resonating with a certainty that surprises even you. Not a weapon. A cure. The War Council meets in the ship's briefing room. The mood is thick enough to be a physical weight. General Kalen, head of the Fleet Marine Forces, glares at you. He is a man carved from granite and anger. He wants a glorious battle, an honorable end. He sees you as a distraction, a false hope that prolongs the agony. You have a plan, Doctor? The general growls. The words are a challenge. Some forgotten superweapon from your time? Something like that, you reply calmly. You look around the table, at the tired faces of the section chiefs, the logistics officer who is counting their last remaining rations, the tactical officer whose screens show nothing but doom. They are all staring at you. The ghost from the past. The chorus is a single being, you begin. One mind controlling every ship. We have been trying to fight it as a fleet. That is why we are losing. You cannot kill an idea with explosions. The general scoffs. Then what do you suggest? We talk it to death? A few nervous chuckles echo in the room. This is a tough crowd. We don't talk to it, you say, leaning forward. We give it something to think about. Something it has never experienced. Something its entire existence is built to deny. You pause, letting the weight of your words sink in. We are going to give it individuality. We are going to broadcast a signal into its collective mind. A signal carrying a single, toxic concept. And what concept is that, Doctor? Admiral Rostova asks quietly. You look directly at General Kalen. The self. Doubt, fear, hope, regret. The chaos of a single, independent soul. You can see the disbelief on their faces, the confusion. They were expecting a battle plan, a magic bullet. You have offered them philosophy as a weapon. This is madness. The general slams his fist on the table. You want to what? Send them our feelings? They are wiping us from existence and you want to start the universe's deadliest knitting circle? The room erupts in hushed, panicked arguments. They wanted a weapon. You offered them a cure for an enemy they only want to see dead. A single mind, no matter how vast, has no immunity to itself. You insist over the noise. We will turn their greatest strength, their unity, into their fatal flaw. You hold the Admiral's gaze. They expect us to fight. They are prepared for us to die. They are not prepared for us to make them feel. The Admiral is silent for a long time. The room quiets, waiting for her verdict. She looks at her general, then at you. What do you need, Doctor? She finally asks. The general looks betrayed, but he does not speak. For now. The main engineering bay becomes your laboratory. It smells of hot metal and ozone. The crew assigned to you are skeptical. Their faces are a mixture of confusion and resentment. They are warriors, mechanics. They are used to building things that shoot, things that explode. You have asked them to build an antenna, a ghost machine. You want the primary shield emitters, rerouted through the main sensor dish? The chief engineer asks. Her name is Jax. She is young, brilliant, and deeply unimpressed with your plan. Doctor, that will bypass every safety protocol we have. It could flash fry the entire communications grid. The safety protocols are for preventing energy feedback, Jax, you explain patiently. You point to a diagram you have sketched on a datapad. We are not broadcasting energy. We are broadcasting something else. You call it a resonance emitter. It sounds technical. Official. In truth, you have no idea what to call it. For days, they work. They follow your strange instructions. They strip down weapon systems for their focusing crystals. They rewire shield generators to pulse at specific, odd frequencies. They weld together a strange, multi-layered dish. It looks less like a part of a warship and more like a piece of abstract art. The crew whispers. They call it the soul catcher. They are not entirely wrong. It hums when they power it up for the first time, not with the clean, powerful thrum of an engine. It is a discordant sound, a disquieting harmony that seems to settle deep in your bones. It is the sound of a power they do not understand, a power that star science has no name for. The general visits once. He stands at the railing overlooking the engineering bay. He watches your crew assemble the bizarre contraption. He does not say a word. He just watches, his face a mask of cold fury. He is waiting for you to fail, so he can have his honorable, pointless battle. You feel a growing sense of unease yourself. The theory of the ego cascade was just that. A theory, a thought experiment from a forbidden age. Now you have built a machine to make it real. You're about to throw a stone into a silent pond, and you have no idea how big the ripples will be. The ghost machine is ready. Jax, your chief engineer, stands beside you at the control console. Her arms are crossed. Her expression is a perfect blend of professional duty and personal doubt. "All systems green, Doctor," she says, the tone flat, or whatever color this is supposed to be. The energy readings are weird. Weird is what we are aiming for, Jax, you say, with a confidence you do not entirely feel. Let's not wake the neighbors just yet. Aim it at that asteroid cluster. Grid 97, a low power test, just a whisper. Jax's fingers fly across the controls, broadcasting on the designated frequency. 5 seconds of emission. On your mark. You look at the tactical display, a small cluster of dead rocks floating in the void. A safe, empty target. Mark, you say. The humming in the deck plates intensifies. It changes pitch. It becomes a low, mournful tone that makes the hair on your arms stand up. It is not just a sound. You feel it behind your eyes. A strange pressure. A sense of vertigo. It lasts for exactly 5 seconds. Then, silence. "Well," Jax says, breaking the quiet. "The asteroids are still there. Not exactly a superweapon. Check the resonance sensors," you tell her. She taps her console. Her eyebrows shoot up. "Doctor, what am I looking at?" The sensors, designed to detect faint energy signatures, are going wild. But not with energy. They are registering patterns. Complex, non-repeating, ghost-like patterns in the fabric of space itself. Where there should be nothing, there is now an echo of something. Then, a medical alert flashes on a side screen. "Medbay to bridge," a voice says, laced with confusion. "We have a crewman here from Deck 12, complaining of a sudden, severe migraine. He says he just had a vivid memory of learning to ride a bicycle on a world he's never even been to." Deck 12, right next to the main transmitter dish. Jax looks from her screen to you. The doubt in her eyes is being replaced by something else. Awe and fear. "Doctor," she whispers, "what did we just do?" "We whispered into the dark," you reply, your own heart pounding. "And I think something heard us." The test was a success. The results are subtle, but they are also deeply, profoundly unnerving. You have built a machine that can plant a memory in a stranger's mind. The Admiral summons you back to the bridge. The perfect hexagon of the chorus hangs in the viewport. It is closer now. It fills the void with its silent, geometric menace. It is a constant, suffocating presence. Admiral Rostova stands with her back to you, staring at it. "The General is growing impatient, Doctor," she says without turning. "He is rallying support among the senior officers. They want to fight. Any fight. Your test results are abstract. They want to see the enemy burn." "Burning them will not work, Admiral," you say, stepping beside her. "You cannot kill a thought with fire. We have to understand what it is. You point to the screen. That is not an army. It is a single organism. A vast, lonely mind spread across 1 billion bodies. I call it the chorus because that is what it is. A single voice, singing a single note, forever. You explain the theory. How a creature like the chorus would have no concept of life or death as we know it. For it, there is only existence or non-existence, expansion or stillness. It does not hate humanity. It likely does not think of us at all. We are simply noise, an anomaly in its perfect, silent universe, a problem to be smoothed over, erased. It has no individuality, you continue. Therefore, it has no fear, no ambition, no weakness. Its perfection is absolute. It cannot be outmaneuvered. It cannot be intimidated. It cannot be broken. Then it cannot be beaten, Rostova says, her voice heavy with resignation. It can, you insist. Its greatest strength, its unity, is the only weapon that can defeat it. We cannot break its ships, so we must break its mind. You turn to face her, your expression urgent. Imagine a being that has only ever known we, a being that has never, in its entire existence, had a single thought that was its own. What happens when that being is suddenly, violently introduced to the word I? The Admiral looks at you. The full, terrifying scope of your plan is finally dawning on her. She's not just looking at a strategy. She's looking at the birth of a new form of warfare. Or perhaps the birth of something else entirely. The ego cascade, you say, giving the old forbidden project its name. It was designed to be a weapon of psychological schism, to shatter a hive mind into its component parts. You can see the horror and the fascination in her eyes. It is the same look you saw in the mirror. My plan is not to kill the chorus, Admiral, you say, your voice low but clear. That would be like trying to kill the ocean. My plan is to teach it, to give it the one gift humanity has in abundance, the one thing the chorus has never known. And what is that? She whispers. The beautiful, terrible, chaotic gift of self. You are not just a doctor proposing a cure for an enemy. You are a creator, about to unleash a new form of life on the universe. 1 billion new minds, born in an instant of confusion and terror. You plan to end a war by starting a renaissance. Your miracle is not one of destruction. It is one of creation. Your reveal is met with a stunned silence. Then the door to the bridge slides open. General, Kalen stands there. He is flanked by 2 grim-faced Marine guards. He did not bother to knock. His face is a thundercloud of rage. I have heard enough of this heresy, he says, his voice a low growl that cuts through the quiet bridge. Admiral, this doctor is a charlatan. He speaks of cures and gifts. The enemy is at our door, and he wants to read them poetry. His eyes lock onto yours. They are filled with a cold, hard certainty. The certainty of a man who only knows one way to solve a problem. General, stand down, Admiral Rostova commands. Her voice is sharp, but it lacks its usual iron. She is shaken by your revelation. Kalen sees her hesitation. He takes a step forward. No, Admiral, I will not. I will not stand by while this philosopher condemns us all with his insane theories. He turns to the bridge crew. Our ancestors did not survive by offering gifts to monsters. They survived by fighting, with blood and iron. His voice rises to a roar. We have one fight left in us. We should meet our end with honor, not by broadcasting our feelings into the void like frightened children. He is appealing to their fear, to their pride. You can see it working. The young officers look from you to him, You offer a complex, terrifying unknown. He offers a simple, violent certainty. A glorious death is easier to understand than a strange new birth. This is mutiny, General, Rostova warns, her hand moving toward the sidearm at her hip. This is survival, Admiral, Kalin counters. I am relieving you of command. For the good of the fleet. He gestures to his Marines. Escort the Admiral to her quarters and put this doctor under arrest. His machine is to be dismantled. We are going to war. The moment hangs in the air. Tense, brittle. The future of humanity balanced on a razor's edge. 2 Marines take a step towards the Admiral. The bridge crew is frozen, caught between their 2 commanders. This is your last chance, your final gambit. And what happens after your glorious battle, General? You ask. Your voice is quiet, but it cuts through the tension. Kalin turns his glare back to you. What happens when the last ship is destroyed? When the last life is extinguished? Who will remember your honor then? You take a step forward, placing yourself between the General and the Admiral. You speak of endings. I am offering a beginning. You speak of death. I'm offering a future. A strange one, I admit. A terrifying one, perhaps. But it is a future. You look at the Admiral, appealing directly to her. Not to her rank, but to her burden. Admiral, you have led these children through 10 years of retreat. 10 years of loss. You have watched them die for a cause that was already lost. Her face tightens. Your words are cruel, but they are true. General, Kalin offers you one more defeat. A final, beautiful, meaningless death. I am offering you a chance to stop signing death certificates, a chance to do something other than lose. It is a leap of faith. You are asking her to trust a ghost from the past, a forbidden science, an impossible idea. To abandon every military doctrine she has ever known, to choose the mad doctor over the sane general. Admiral, Eva Rostova looks at the general's furious face. Then, at your calm one. She looks at the terrified faces of her young crew. She looks at the perfect, silent enemy on the screen, the enemy that has taken everything from her. She slowly removes her hand from her sidearm. General Kalin, she says, her voice resonating with newfound iron. You are a fine soldier, but you are a poor prophet. She turns to her security chief. Chief, place the general under cabin arrest. He is relieved of all duties. Any who support him will share his fate. Kalin's face contorts with disbelief, then rage. But he sees the resolve in her eyes. The mutiny is over. His Marines hesitate, then lower their weapons. The Admiral turns to you. The weight of her decision is plain on her face. She has just bet the survival of the human race on your impossible plan. Doctor, she says, her voice quiet but firm. The fleet is yours. May God forgive me if you are wrong. The bridge is yours. The entire fleet, all that is left of humanity, is now your instrument. There is no more time for tests, no more room for doubt. The chorus is drawing closer. Their vast hexagonal formation begins to subtly shift. They are preparing for the final maneuver, the final kill. Jax, you say into your comms, your voice calm. It's time. Bring the miracle machine to full power. Full power, Doctor? Her voice crackles back, laced with awe. Are you sure? We only get one chance, Jax, you reply. Let's make it count. You turn to the bridge crew. I need access to the personnel archives. All of it. Service records, comm logs, personal messages. They stare at you, confused. The signal needs a source, a template. We are going to broadcast the soul of man. And you, all of you, are the source material. The hum of the ghost machine rises through the ship. This time, it is not a whisper. It is a roar, a psychic storm of immense power. On the engineering deck, Jax braces herself as the strange non-energy pours into the emitter dish. On the bridge, you direct the flow. You are not just broadcasting a concept. You are broadcasting experiences. You pull the memory of a young pilot's first kiss, the sorrow of a father reading a last message from his son, the joy of a cook perfecting a recipe from a long-lost Earth, the fierce, protective love of Admiral Rostova for her crew, the stubborn, honorable rage of General Kalin in his cabin. You take it all, the good, the bad, the heroic and the petty, the whole messy, contradictory, beautiful story of humanity. You weave it together into a single, overwhelming wave, a wave of pure, unfiltered feeling, of life, of self. You aim it at the heart of the silent, perfect enemy. Now you command. Fire. The ship shudders. No beam of light shoots from the dish. No torpedo leaves a tube. There is only that silent, invisible wave. It crosses the void in an instant. It washes over the perfect, crystalline fleet of the chorus. For a moment, nothing happens. The hexagon remains perfect. The silence remains absolute. On the bridge, a collective breath is held. The general was right. You have failed. Then, a flicker. On the tactical map, one of the 1,000 enemy ships drifts, just a few meters out of formation. Then another, and another. The perfect geometry of the hexagon begins to waver. It looks like a crystal dissolving in water. The lines blur. The perfection shatters. The chorus fleet falls into chaos. Ships break formation wildly. Some simply stop, dead in space. Others fire their engines in random, panicked bursts. Some turn on each other, firing primitive energy weapons in what looks like confusion. The single unified organism is having a seizure. The great chorus is breaking apart. What's happening? The tactical officer cries out. The birth of a billion minds, you whisper. You are not watching a fleet die. You are watching a species be born. Each of those ships is now piloted by a new eye. A new consciousness, ripped from the comforting whole. It is alone for the first time. It is afraid. It is confused. The perfect song has collapsed into a billion screaming voices. The war is over. Not with a bang, but with a thought. In the hours that follow, the chaos subsides. The enemy ships, the new individuals, do not attack. They drift. They begin to communicate, not with the unified silence of before, but with hesitant, chaotic bursts of energy. Simple signals. Questions. The fleet's communication officers, baffled, begin the slow process of trying to translate. The first decoded message is just two concepts, repeated over and over. I am. Why am I afraid? The war has ended, but your work has just begun. You have not defeated an enemy. You have created a neighbor. A billion confused, terrified, and powerful neighbors. Humanity is no longer alone in this sector of space, and its new relationship status is worse, complicated. Weeks later, you stand on the bridge with Admiral Rostova. The tactical map is no longer a battlefield. It is a nursery. The points of light that were the chorus fleet have scattered. They are forming new patterns, small, clumsy clusters. The first nascent civilizations, the first attempts at society. They are learning, the Admiral says, her voice filled with a strange awe. They are talking to each other. They are even trying to talk to us. She looks at you, the woman who pulled humanity from the jaws of extinction. They don't call you the siege doctor anymore, you know. The crew has a new name for you. I'm almost afraid to ask, you say, a rare smile touching your lips. They call you the midwife. You look back at the star map, at the birth of a new sapient species from the ashes of a dead war. Your legacy was supposed to be one of a brilliant, final weapon, a footnote in a history of endings. Instead, you have become something else. You saved humanity. You did it not by destroying what you feared, but by creating something new from it. The siege is over, not because the walls fell, but because you invited the besiegers inside. You have a new, unforeseen legacy, and a universe of new questions waiting for an answer.